So we've been sitting this morning wondering who you are on the other side of the screen. We've been talking about who's watching this and who are you and what do you dream about, and are you already in Italy, or do you want to go to Italy? Do you want to buy a house in Italy? Do you want to, or do you just dream about it? And yeah, that said, we started to think about a little bit about who we are.
Yeah, we love to have personal connections with people.
Yeah.
And this is a strange forum. You're on one side of the camera and you're all faceless, but we thought, well, maybe we don't have to be faceless. And so yeah, tell us who you are.
Who am I? I think my father taught me when I was really young to be interested in construction. And for as long as I can remember, he has been building this or that one, that house or the next. So when I grew up and became an adult, I started to renovate apartments, eventually houses, and then started with new builds and then bigger projects. And now this. But I'm not just a person who loves to construct things. I'm also a people person. I really love people. I love to have guests, and I love to get to know people. So, as you said before, this forum is a little bit weird since I'm usually by myself and I never get to see you guys. I hope we can change that in one way or another. I'm around 50. I have 3 kids. 2 is originally Helen's and the girl is mine. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. What about you?
I have 2 children from a previous marriage, and my ex-husband is Italian. He is from Puglia, which is the reason that I've spent a lot of time there since the beginning of 2001. Then when we met each other, we started coming there. So a big part of who I am, I suppose, I do feel part Italian in a sense, or at least very much part of that region, which is why I have such an affinity and a closeness to that part of the world. I spent 20 years living in London. I have spent some time living in the States as well when I was an exchange student.
So there's where the accent's from.
Yes, it's very unfair actually that I speak with an American accent, 20 years in London and 1 year in the States. But that's the way it is. Now we live in Malmö.
Yes, Sweden.
And I think one of the things that was very obvious to both of us when we met is that we're both extremely driven when it comes to, okay, when we have a vision or a dream about something, we immediately set out a plan of how to realize it.
Yes.
Because one thing I was joking with you just before we switched on the cameras is that, how come we can't be these normal people who just kind of dream in front of the fireplace, having this calm and slow life, and why do we have to subject ourselves to this? Being apart months of the year, having like the financial strains and the insecurity of what's going to be next. And I suppose that is the springboard where we about 9 months ago, it's just 9 months ago, which is crazy to think, that we decided to rethink our lives professionally and look into potentially going full-time into YouTube, into the YouTube channel. I do the editing mostly, which is why you don't see me as much in front of the camera.
I do none of the editing. That's why you see me in front of the camera.
Yeah. And my background is in interior design, which obviously there's a lot of that coming into it, and architectural drawing as well. But
Sure.
mainly it's been focused, a lot of energy and time has gone towards, finding a way and the skill, developing the skill of editing while you're trying to get comfortable with being in front of the camera.
Yeah, that is not easy.
Please tell us a little bit about what thoughts are going on there.
Well, I think it's a huge struggle between the trade that I work with, what I do, actually putting up the wall, and the end that I have to film it, I have to show you something, I have to produce material that is actually watchable and that you can do something with. And I constantly struggle to find the words because I am trained in Swedish. So I know all the words in Swedish, but I'm not so sure I know all the words in English. And then I don't like to see myself on a screen, so it adds up.
Yeah, I struggle with feeling overwhelmed. I'm very good normally at organizing projects and looking at these things, but it gets personal on a different level when you have to do it. So when I sit there and I cut, I get so focused on like, how do I make this okay? Well, there is the coloring, there is the editing, there is the cuts with the music, but still trying to keep the integrity of it, because I know that, yeah, I think we need to give this 1 year before we get discovered and people will know about us, and we will get good enough to be able to get kind of a track record. And I realize that patience is needed. So yeah, I have a hard time resisting to be overwhelmed and run over by all the challenges and obstacles there, and just kind of enjoy the process, be happy with what I do right now, and see, okay, from episode 1 and 2, I think that things have improved. I've learned a great deal, and just be happy with that.
But I think the struggle that you talk about, it's not exclusively the channel. It is also life. We have 3 kids, as I mentioned before, because we also have like a company that we have to take care of, and there has been some real struggles this
And we have
past
3
years.
rental properties, 1 holiday and 2 full-time rental properties, and a big, beautiful old house here in Malmö that
Which constantly needs attention. We have a house from the 1920s. Yeah, so we owned it for about 18 months now. But it didn't start there. That was not the beginning for us with Italy. It started, Helen brought me to Italy 2013. I've obviously been to Italy before, but it was the first time being in Puglia. And I think I almost immediately fell in love after a couple of weeks, because at first I was just in total shock of all the buildings that were abandoned everywhere.
All the cracks!
So I was like trying to renovate them all in my mind very quickly,
Yeah.
see how it would look. It's been a long time for us coming to Italy, and I think we viewed probably around 200 properties before we got this. And we actually gave up
Yeah, a number of times.
a number of times.
And then restarted, and usually the restarts were me going like, no, but we can't give up, and you were like, okay.
Okay, let's do it. Well, this time I was actually on sick leave, and Helen said, well, maybe we should try to get a small place in Italy. We found this place. It's very small. It's just 60 square meters, 1 bedroom and a kitchen and a living room.
I think, and also we had in mind that maybe in the future at some point there will be something bigger.
Yeah.
But
well,
we were sick of waiting.
Yeah, we wanted to have a place because, you know, you want to have a home. When you stay there for more than a couple of weeks, you want to make your own home, or we want to have a home.
I think we're on to something fun. I think we're on to a lifestyle that we both feel that this could be both sustainable and a wonderful outlet for our creativeness and what we love doing and using the talents that we have. So I personally feel that I want to work through the feelings of imposter syndrome and become better at both editing and thinking of the production side of how we construct better episode going forward.
If you can let us know what you want to see or what you like, do that. Tell us a little bit about your dream. We're going to reply to all of you. And yeah, it's we also want to thank you for being with us on this journey, coming with us on this journey. So have a wonderful one. See you next time.